This past semester, I did my fieldwork experience at Shelterhouse in Midland. Shelterhouse is a nonprofit organization committed to providing safety, shelter, advocacy, and counseling to survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. Each year, Shelterhouse answers 2,500 crisis calls, provide 4,500 nights of shelter for those afraid to stay in their own homes, and impact 12,000 additional people through community education and outreach. While working at Shelterhouse, I was sort of an administrative assistant. I helped with all types of office work from filing, making copies, and general office maintenance. My main project and responsibility was fundraising. We worked on different projects and campaigns throughout the semester, our largest and most recent being our mailing campaign. I also helped her oversee the operating budget by checking in on employees at the resale shop, where most of Shelterhouse's money comes from. When I first started, I was in charge of inputting donations into an online database. We had a lot of money donations that I needed to record and add in the computer under the specific campaign they were donating to, the name and other information of the donors, and the amount they donated. Things did get a bit tricky when people would donate goods to the shelter. They would drop off items like clothing, toys, food, and cosmetics. If the donor didn't, I was in charge of assessing a monetary value to them and inputting the donation into the computer. At the end of each month, I was in charge of creating and organizing thank you letters that were sent to each individual who donated. I needed to make sure each letter contained the correct contact information and amount donated, as well as the correct thank you message that our executive director created. The second big project I was a part of was our end-of-the-year fundraising campaign. We sent out letters to everyone who had donated over the past year. The letter contained a personal note from one of the board members and an envelope in which recipients could place cash or check if they wanted to donate. I had to personally stuff each envelope with the letter and the donation envelope. From my last count, I had stuffed and mailed 1,025 letters. At Shelterhouse, our therapists need to approach each of our clients using the human service model. Most of our clients come to us after their world has been turned upside down. They had to escape from a very violent and traumatizing situation. The therapists focus on our clients' strengths to build them up and help them with the next steps in their lives. I did not have any direct contact with the clients while volunteering at Shelterhouse. However, I did still have to follow the same ethical principles the therapists do. The main ethical principle I needed to follow was the principle of beneficence, which says we must be advocates for our clients. Regardless of the role we fill in the office, we are all advocates. Our goal, second to helping anyone who comes through our doors, is to educate and prevent. We do this on behalf of not only our clients, but the large number of those who have yet to come forward. The biggest challenge my supervisor and I faced while I was working at Shelterhouse was donor fatigue. Midland is a hotbed for nonprofit organizations that are all trying to bring in money from the same general pool of donors. This is a problem that we're still dealing with and is difficult to solve. Our best way to fight donor fatigue is to continue fundraising campaigns. For me, the biggest reward of working at Shelterhouse was indirectly helping victims of abuse and sexual assault. I have firsthand knowledge of what these clients are going through. Being able to help people who are in a similar situation as mine is truly the greatest thing I have ever done. I was able to attend a Survivors Speak event where former clients told their stories. They all credit the employees of Shelterhouse, saying they couldn't have made it through the most difficult time in their lives without them. Just working for Shelterhouse for the last 16 weeks has further deepened my passion for human services, and I know I want to help people for the rest of my life.